You are now tuned in to the #1 football recap show going on God's green. We are back and better than ever. It's United Football Media's Tell Me About It, supported by DAR Sports Media. Right now, me and my man Josh are in the house. We got the best damn football swag on that you could possibly come across. Them San Antonio Toros, baby, coming summer 2026. And, you know, when we get towards the end or when Josh got to go, we can tell you where to go pick up some of your own San Antonio Toros swag. You were looking at the #1 original fan right here on one side and the owner of the team on the other side. My man True's going to be tapping in here after a while, hopefully. Other members of DAR Sports Media. We're here to talk about some NFL going on. It's the United Football Media NFL show. And then tomorrow we'll have the college football show rolling out with Tug and Connor and whoever else jumps in here. I guess the biggest news of the NFL week so far, Brian Daboll getting showed the door. I was of two minds of it when I first heard about it. I said, you know, one of the things that all of these teams, these franchises that you hear about, that you see, who are always competitive, who are always good, who are always on at least the periphery of the playoffs, what do they all have in common? Well, a lot of them do. Stability at head coach. They don't fire a coach at the first sign of trouble. They're not constantly going through a mill of coaches. This is like the 6th one or 5th one since Coughlin left the team. And this is how these teams stay bad in perpetuity, because you can never establish continuity. You can never establish a backbone or a culture. It's just constant churn, constant new systems being learned. And they hired Daboll because of what he did with Josh Allen. So you hired him because you feel he's good at developing quarterbacks who are raw but have tools. You then draft a quarterback who was raw but has tools. That quarterback is now performing well, and now you fire him. It's like you firing him for doing what you hired him to do. But on the other hand, as I thought about it, as I listened to other wise sages in the sports world talk about this, they said, you know, he's Bomani Jones. He said he was treating Jackson Dart like a rental car. Like, he knew that he might be on the way out, and this might not even be my car, so I'm driving 120 miles an hour. I'm hitting curbs. I'm doing whatever. Jackson Dart in just 6 games has had the most designed quarterback runs of any quarterback in the league. So he's not stopping him from running. He's not discouraging him from running. He's getting the shit beat out of him. Ace said we could have a couple cuss words every week, though. By the way, I asked him about it. Got us opened up, baby. He's getting the hell beat out of him. Yeah, he's getting the hell beat out of him every week. The concussion we all knew was coming has now come. Finally, he's been in the blue tent to get checked for concussions 4 times. So finally, this one happened. You can't lose that many games and be getting the new franchise quarterback the hell beat out of him, I guess, is the logic. I guess I can't argue with it. What are your thoughts on this thing, Josh? Well, as a team owner now, especially too, like, that's a whole different perspective, because you're out there with the Toros interviewing head coach candidates as we speak. So you're going to be the man having to make these decisions along with your co-owners. So, you know, thoughts on all of this?
Yeah. So first thing, I will just say, when Scatterboo was healthy, he was taking a lot of that load, and he got hurt. And so I think maybe then Dart had to, kind of step in there so that they can have a semblance of a running game to try to open up the offense a little bit. But I'm with you, man. Continuity, and it's just what did you want Daboll to do? Like, to me, the New York Giants have at least been performing. I don't feel like they're underperforming, but maybe this firing has less to do with what he's done and more to do with the coaches that are out there that are available, that the New York Giants might want to bring in. You know what I mean? Like, this might have more to do with the grass is greener on the other side, so to speak. There might be someone out there that they want. Okay. I don't know. I don't live in New York, but I've heard a couple of names kind of thrown around that have some ties to a team that I do follow here in Texas. That might be.
I heard that too. I heard some McCarthy action, and I said, how?
What about Jason Garrett? What about Jason Garrett? He played in New York. He's there all the time. Like, there's a couple of names out there that they could bring in right away that they don't have to wait for the season to end, or at least have them there in the booth right away and not have to wait for the season to end. I don't know. Do you think this is a Brian Daboll thing, or you think it's we want a coach with some greater pedigree thing? Like, we don't want a coordinator anymore. Maybe we want a head ball coach pedigree.
I think it was a combination of the win-loss record, and then, like I said, he's running him into the ground. Just general, I think, coaching decisions made it enough to where they could pick at it, really, and move on. Between start getting the hell beat out of him, between some of the game management decisions, kicking the field goal on 4th and 1, punting on 4th and inches against the Niners when they hadn't stopped him, and it was a 2-score game late in the game. He's opening himself up to that. I will just say, I said it at the time, and it's kind of like, I just feel like sometimes some of these awards that the NFL gives out are so like caught in the moment. Daboll and them, they got hot for like 8 games, and he wins Coach of the Year. 2 years later, he's fired. Like that, I don't know if it was the same year or the year after that. Joe Flacco, they gave him Comeback Player of the Year because he played good for like 3 games. It was the same season that I watched Del Toro's Frankenstein last night. This is the same season where Damar Hamlin literally came back from the dead to play football in the NFL.
No doubt.
How do you not get Comeback of the Year? That is the Comeback of the Year, like in the world, not just in the NFL. You came back from the dead. I just feel like some of these awards, man, they just rush to give it to whatever the flavor literally of the month is.
Sure.
And they're up a creek later on. Other things that you noticed picked up from this weekend, man, that rock fight Monday night. I was saying it in the preseason. I'm saying it now. I've been mocking all of these talking heads. I did it on this show when the trade happened. I'm hearing all of these talking heads on ESPN. Oh, this shifted the balance of power in the NFC, and it's like only Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes getting traded would be a bigger deal. And no, the Packers ain't going nowhere. They ain't doing a damn thing. They showed you on Monday night. No one is scared of that quarterback. No one is scared of that coach. They ain't going nowhere. That didn't make no difference. It didn't shift the power of a damn thing other than the power of me getting a migraine. Listen to these stupid ass people say this stupid bullshit.
It would have helped us. It would have made a difference if he stayed. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. That defense is so bad.
Well, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Worst statistical defense in like is historical levels at this point.
Well, they ended up, in the end, after this trade, after everything is kind of weighed out, they get a 1st-round pick and they get Quinnen Williams. I mean, I don't think that's a bad haul at all to end up with. But thoughts on that Monday night game? Thoughts on the Packers?
You got to do something with it. That's the problem, right? Do something with the talent. But
so nothing. We'll you don't see the Packers going nowhere.
I mean, the Packers are definitely better than the Cowboys.
Can be said for a lot of teams right now. Another one, I really wish Tay, I think he'll be on the college show tomorrow night. I'll carry this over and talk smack to him about this news that came out. Old boy Travis Henry, or not Travis Henry, Tennessee college football back in the day. Travis Hunter out for the season. I tried to tell Tay this in the preseason. I said, look, man, there's just no way. There's no way. I think that guy is smaller every time I see him. Every time I see him, when we discuss it, I'm like, there's no way a 6 foot, 178-pound wide receiver is going to make it. Every time we talked about it, it was 2 pounds lighter. And there's no way this damn 171-pound receiver. And lo and behold, here we are. 2nd week in November. Physically could not hold up. He's out for the rest of the season with a surgery. This was never happening. I tried to tell him that. I said at the time that trade was utterly insane. The Browns ended up with what is likely to be 3 Pro Bowl players from that trade, plus another 1st-round pick in exchange for a guy. I'm not sure is going to be anything more than a decent player at one position, let alone if they keep trying to do this 2-position thing isn't happening.
Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna have
Thoughts
to pick
on
one.
that?
He's gonna have to pick one, and he had one really good game as a wide receiver, so to speak. And the rest of the games were just subpar, whatever. And then that's when he got hurt too, right? So that overusage is definitely a thing. I think at some point someone's gonna have to talk him into picking a side, so to speak. You got to pick a side. What do you think about what do you think of the impact of the unfortunate news of Tagliabue has on the league? Do you think that's something that is of significance around the league, or is it just an unfortunate thing? Talk about it and move on. What do you think? A lot of people are talking about like an iconic person in the NFL.
So
what do you think about it?
I'm a little too young to have like fully have like a fully formed opinion, but I know that like it seemed like he did a good job when I was, in my teens and preteens. Like it seemed like the NFL was pretty stable. I think a lot of us miss a lot of aspect. Obviously, the concussion thing. I feel like it's so easy to use hindsight to say, oh well, he didn't do enough, or he didn't act fast enough, or he didn't do this. He did. Roger Goodell was still dragging feet about this, 5 years into his administration, let alone all the way back in, when Tagliabue was running things. That's when I played. That's when you played. The hits that are outlawed now were like the objective. Like every hit that I tried to put on somebody playing linebacker was hairline into face mask. I was trying to knock people out so they'd be out of the game. That was like the whole thing. That was football back. That was, people say it now, oh, that's just football. That literally was football back then. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm not saying the game now is lesser. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I feel like it's very easy to look in hindsight and be like, oh, he should have done more. He should have known. I felt like things were very smooth when he ran it. But I probably don't have enough knowledge of the day by day, what it was like to have like a fully formed opinion that I would fight about. What do you think about Tagliabue?
Yeah, I think it was the right man for the job at the right time, but I also think it was when he stepped away, it was time also. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's cool that the league is remembering him, but I just don't know, like, do fans care about the commissioner? Like does Roger Goodell have like a fan club? You know what I mean? Or we're pretty much there for just the players in the game. Get the suits out of the way, right? I mean,
I do not think that if the reactions that he gets at the NFL draft are any indication, I do not believe that he has a fan club.
Joke, right? They don't really.
No, I do not believe that is the case.
Really?
Standout stuff from this past NFL weekend to you, man. What's on your mind? What stood out to you? Who was revealed? What was not revealed?
And I know we don't talk fantasy football on this channel, but
that was
pretty much 100% of my exposure of this weekend. And all I know is Wilson from the Jets really ruined my week because he's been hurt. He's been hurt this whole time, and he finally came back this week, played like a few snaps, and evidently went out early in the game and got me a goose egg. And so, anyways, I was out of town and partying, but I lead that not to make light of the situation, but it seems like there's so many injuries happening every week to so many players, and so naturally, when I have a problem, I start thinking how to solve the problem, i.e., I lost my team in San Antonio. So I started thinking, what could I do to get a team? And, here we are wearing Turo's gear, thing. So I'm thinking about all the problems. Do you think, and so this is my answer to your question, the injuries, man, the injuries are happening so often. Do you feel like it's more frequently? I feel like it's a lot more frequent than it used to be with all the safety initiatives that they've put into the league. I feel like players getting hurt more, but I also feel like the non-contact injuries.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because these guys are not, practicing as hard leading into the season and running as hard the weeks leading up to it, and less days in the pads and all that stuff. And maybe it has a lot to do too with the playing surfaces. There's getting to be less and less grass. A lot of people playing on turf and stuff. And it's just crazy to me that the injuries are like the worst part of the game, And so to me, that's what I've really been thinking about every time I'm watching football. Every time there's a snap, I'm thinking to myself, man, I hope this guy doesn't get hurt or this guy doesn't get hurt. Or when there's a big hit, I'm hoping this guy isn't hurt on the bottom of the pile. And so, yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. So the injuries and obviously everything else is ancillary to that. But the player health, do you feel like there's something going on? Are the guys just that much faster?
So a funny thing is, dude, about I want to say 2006, 2007. I'm riding home with my then roommate, still my best bud, and he's a huge football nut too. And we were talking about just football in general. And I said, man, I'm telling you right now, because it was NFL draft season, and we're looking at like the defensive linemen and stuff. Or every year there's a guy who's like 5 pounds heavier, still running a 4.3, and it was like that back then too. And I said with the concussions, with everybody getting bigger, faster, and stronger every single year, this game in 15 years from now, 20 years from now, is going to not be recognizable to what it is right now. And that has come to pass. How often do we say, like, what is this football or what? Like, right? So even with the rule changes, they have not been able to keep pace with how much bigger, how much faster, how much stronger these guys are getting. Because the whole reason that they don't practice as much in the offseason is because of that same thing. They less physical toll on their bodies because everyone's bigger, everyone's faster, everyone's stronger. So if you're taking hits that often in the offseason, you're shortening your career even more. Careers are getting shorter and shorter. So yeah, I do feel like injuries are a much, and it's also we this is a good, I don't know if we go down these roads in these
Just
podcasts, but our whole society nowadays is, because I've noticed the same thing in NBA. Our whole society now is so much about ultra monetization of everything. So if it's in greed, straight up naked greed. So it's like, oh, well, if we make this much money from 17 games, why not play 19 games? Why not play 20 games? NBA is the same way. They play damn near year round in the NBA with the summer stuff, with the Olympics, now there's a tournament inside the season, along with the 72 games, along with the 7-game playoff series. That's why NBA players are incessantly out with injuries, way more than they ever used to be. You can't, we do the NBA show on DAR. You can't talk about a single team without saying, well, as long as they stay healthy, well, they'll be good in the playoffs, but they beat this team, but that team was injured. And they beat this team, but they had 3 players out. It's all the time. Yeah. And it happens, you're right, in the NFL too. You name a team, and they have, the 49ers, obviously big example. They're down to a practice squad guys starting on the defensive line. So yes, and it's because, and this is just how it's going to be. Like, people are getting bigger, faster, stronger all the time. That means that there's more velocity with the collisions, even with the trying to protect people's brains. It's going to continue to be a factor. And I don't know what the future holds. I don't know. Because I have a big feeling in the big picture. I think the NFL is going to expand again. I think it's going to end up being in London and Germany. I think they're going to create an entire Europe division. If I was to guess, I think they're going to create an entire Europe division. 2 teams in London, 2 teams in Germany. Expand to 18 or 20 games. And then things are going to look different again, because you're probably going to be looking at 100-person rosters. You're going to be looking at very limited workloads for some players, depending on the weeks. I think that's the future, because that's why they're so interested in Europe right now, I believe. And it's because in our society right now, we ultra monetize everything literally to death. So many companies, and you're familiar with this, you're a businessman, the private equity firms and all this stuff. So many companies literally overgreed themselves into death that, like, who knows, but they're going to keep going. Ask a DoorDash about it, and ask a Airbnb about it.
Is it that simple that it's all business decisions? Like could we sum it all up? It's business decisions, whether it's more games, whether it's less practice, whether a player maybe takes an extra game off where in the past he played. Everybody's making a business decision because there's just so much money involved in the NFL. And if I was going to sum it up, and I know it sounds stupid and simple, and it's a huge complex situation, but that's the way I would sum it up. The league's making business decisions, and so are the players, and everybody's just doing their thing to go out and get theirs and get it any way they can. So it's just different than it was back in the day. Maybe sometimes if you were hurt and you didn't play, it was the same thing with I'll liken it to real life, right? Pre-COVID, if you woke up with the sniffles and a sore throat and you called in sick to work in regular life work, not even sports like, but you called in sick to work, you were treated like a punk when you went back to work the next day, or like you were soft because you had the sniffles and a sore throat. But then you hit COVID, and now you go to work with sniffles and a sore throat. People look
Everyone's
at
like,
you
hey, what's your goddamn
patient
problem?
zero. You're
Yeah.
patient zero,
Get outta
right?
here.
So there was this huge cultural shift in what I view as also a business decision, whereas you went to work to go earn your paycheck. Now you stay home so you don't get other people sick. And it's like a whole
100%.
mind shift.
Mhm.
And also, it's pro athletes in the NFL, they're not immune to that. And to me, I think there was a business shift at some point where it went from you play hurt, or you give 100% every time, or you try really hard on third down, maybe protect yourself a little on first down. And then for the league, maybe it's at the point now where it was, hey, we're going to play 12 games because we don't have enough players. And now the league's like, we're going to play 16 or 18 or 20, and we'll just give you deeper rosters because obviously they're treating those players as workers like any other business would.
Yeah.
And you got all these business decisions being made. And then, of course, us as fans don't have much say-so in all of that. The only chance we got is to watch TV and hope YouTube doesn't take our games away from us on certain days. But anyways, that's it. It's all business decisions.
I
But
mean, that situation too is all business decisions,
that's
right?
what I'm saying.
To me, and we were going to talk about this on DAR, like a different show, but like to me, it's insane that the ESPN stuff was ever on YouTube TV at all. They have a direct competitor service. Like Disney has their own YouTube TV, so why would they let their networks be not exclusive to their shit? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think people I don't know. People just let emotions and their own inconvenience like dictate how they feel about that situation. I feel like to me, it's crazy that ESPN was ever on YouTube TV in the first place. Can you imagine back when the big cable conglomerates were running everything? When it was I don't know what it was down in Texas, but Cox Media, Comcast,
Time
Verizon,
Warner.
right? If they had their own cable, their own exclusive cable networks that were only available to them that they produced, can you imagine them allowing those networks to be on the other cables, their competitors? Like I don't know. Real quick before, because I know you got to get going. Does any of the results of this weekend? What's your percent? Who are the best three teams in the league right now? The Rams stepped up big, looked awesome against the Niners, looked unstoppable. Matt Stafford, I've said it before, I'll say it again. When he's hot, he's the best damn quarterback in the NFL. Straight up and down. He set a record, 3 straight games, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions this weekend. No quarterback has ever done that in the history of the NFL. Matt Stafford is the man. We need to start giving him his credit. Seahawks looked great. Buffalo, not so much. So do you got in Indianapolis went in there and won a tough game? What are your thoughts on who's the top 3 teams in the league right now, man?
I think you named all the top 3 teams, but I'm going to throw one out there that I think maybe he's not going to get the love due to injuries. But if Lamar Jackson comes back, and he can come back very soon, watch out.
You mean to full Lamar Jackson? Because he's been back for a couple weeks and they've been winning. But you're talking about to full power.
Full health,
Yeah.
moving like he used to move. And then also I heard a little rumor that maybe Burrow's coming back.
Yeah, he is.
He's on 21 days, right?
Trying to come back on Thanksgiving. But he said it depends on what happens if they're in playoff contention. So
so you named all the best teams. I'm looking for the teams that are going to come in and rock the boat. I think both of those 2 teams have a chance to rock the boat, man. We'll see what happens when they're back to full strength. So I'm excited to watch. I like Lamar Jackson. He's probably my favorite quarterback in the league right now, and I like to watch him. And I'm hoping he gets back going full speed here real quick and see what Baltimore winds up doing because Derrick Henry's a beast too. And,
Yeah.
I mean, I just like to see those guys. And so that's what I say. That's the team I'm watching the rest of the year because I'm not watching the Cowboys.
Any prediction for the big matchup? Two big matchups. Seattle and the Rams, marquee matchup. Denver and the Chiefs, marquee matchup.
Denver will win if Harvey is involved in the game and Franklin is involved in the game. That's when Denver is the best, when those secondary type auxiliary players are playing the best. Their defense is lights out, right? Like, I mean, it doesn't matter. They're going to hurt somebody, which I truly enjoy watching their defense. So I think Denver is going to do good as long as Harvey gets some touches. And then, of course, Kansas City coming off the bye, they're healthy. They're back to full strength. They're rocking and rolling again with Rice and everybody's back. And Hunt and Kelsey, he's not doing much. But, I think coming off the bye week, if they're ever going to explode, this is the week to do it.
Rams, Eagles, if they had to replay that NFC Championship game right now, who you taking?
The Rams, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
Hot to trot.
Yeah, for sure. And I have Hunt. I have Barkley and I just drew a blank. The quarterback,
Hurts.
Hurts. I have Barkley and Hurts on my fantasy team, so I've been watching them all year long, and not doing much. Barkley's not doing much like he has in the past. So Rams definitely are outperforming right now.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, this right here has been the end. I might just outro you because True might be jumping in here or might not. I don't know.
Throw me, baby. Cool, man.
This right here has been Josh of the Brahma Bullpen. Well, formerly of the Brahma Bullpen. Now of what are you calling this thing? Toro?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have the managing partner and team president for the San Antonio Toros. That's what I'm calling it.
That's right. Damn it. So be on the lookout. He'll be here with our NFL stuff weekly. Hopefully we'll get some of the other guys in. There was some scheduling stuff. Somebody's sick. Bunch of nonsense. He'll be around. Maybe he'll pop in on our college football show sometimes as well. What's the website to get this fire?
COFLtoros.com, baby. Check it out. We got all kinds of stuff going on there. Players, register for a tryout on the 30th. Get you some swag. I'm going to let everybody on the secret right now. My boy Eric right here. First cut. He bought it on his own, and he paid full price, even though we're boys, to support the team.
Got to support, man. Got to support the crew. Love it.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate your time, man. He's about to go off and do another big CFL team owner interview on another radio show. Fits us in where he can because we care about you guys. We're keeping the content rolling in all football seasons now, baby.
Come on, Cowboys, beat the Raiders.